1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you can't find that one, that's enough. Hey guys, what's going on? Blaircast here once more with Stellaris. Now, before we even begin, I want to point out something. Yes, this is version 1. This is the release version. Funny story. My patcher for this doesn't appear to be working. Steam hasn't downloaded a new patch for me. I think it's on like version 1.1 now, or something like that. Whatever. I know it's been through like 2 of Arumba's updates. Sorry, Arumba's suggestions of what needs to be fixed, what needs to be updated, that kind of thing. So, I have actually bought this game. Steam just hasn't updated it, which I know sounds weird, but the same thing's been happening to Company of Heroes, Civilization 5, what's the other one? Tabletop Sim, something like that. So I have actually bought this game. I've just held off playing it because I've seen patches come out and I haven't got them. So you're going to see this as release, I guess, of all things. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to check it out like around the 3rd. I'm going to see if something's happened. But whatever the case. Because, well, I say the 3rd. You all know why. Anyway, so this is Stellaris. This is a 4X game brought up by Paradox. Yes, Paradox. Those guys have brought up Victoria 2, Crusader Kings, EU4, those kind of things. It's a really, really good game. I freaking love it. You basically take control of a space empire and go exploring the stars, colonizing, conquering. It's literally a 4X game set in space. I can't love it enough. I don't know why. It's just, yeah, you know? I fangasm every time. Anyway. So, let's get into it, shall we? So, one of the selling points about Stellaris is obviously you get your own little empires. As you can see, I've made, like, apparently 2 of the same thing. What the hell? Okay, that's, interesting. Let's just trash that one. Because I think I remember why I've got 2 of these things. Let's trash this as well. So, you do get your, like, pre-made nations and empires and such. Like, you get the United Nations of Earth, the Commonwealth of Man, the Shin Empire. Not just guys, all these guys as well. And they all come with their own little bit of lore. So that you know what they're like, what brought them to what they are, that kind of thing. And they all have their own upgrades, that kind of thing. If I could stop coughing, it'd be nice. There we go. But we are actually going to make a new one. See, I've got my Commonwealth of Earth here, by the way. We are going to be mammalian. This is kind of what you get when you get making a race. Like, you can choose things, what they are, what they do, what they look like, that kind of thing. So we're going to be mammalian human. I've got nothing against the other races, but you get a good range of them to choose from. Like, there's reptilian, avian, if it loads, arthropoid, musculoid, or molluscoid, sorry, and fungoid. These guys make me laugh, because, you know, giant mushroom man. And that's the female of the species. But yeah, we're going to play as the humans. We're going to name ourselves as the Rapunzian. No, that's not it. We're human, Apollo is human, the adjective is human. Human! The nameless, this is the prefix for your, or generally what you pick from your, for your race, I guess. Like, we're currently human 1, there's human 2. I don't know what the difference is. I think 1 is just, there seems to be a lot of Asian names there. I wish it was more European, I honestly do. I'm not being racist or anything. Like, I know there was a mod that got taken down that was basically, you know, all European names, all the white phenotype, that kind of thing. I don't see altogether why it was taken down. I heard it was because it was promoting an agenda. I don't think it was, but that's just me. But anyway, so what's the ship prefix going to be? We are the Rapunzian ship navy? No. Ship of the Rapunzian Navy. Srin. So, that's literally just going to be what our ships are going to be called. We've got our fleet names when they make them, but then that's kind of ridiculous because they don't follow this anyway. Our planets, yeah, that doesn't really help either, because that doesn't really do much. And leader names actually does come up, but there's a whole long list of them. Right, so traits. Traits are kind of positives and negatives you can give your race. You have a amount of points you can use to get these things. So, resilient. Text describing the trait you've currently chosen. Lorem ipsum dolor sit atrum. Lorem is a met. Lorem does met. I know I think that's some kind of computer speak, but whatever the case. We have a long list of traits we can pick from. Some are opposite each other. For example, if you're a fast learner, if you're a rapid breeder, you can't be a slow breeder. If you're quick learner, you can't be a slow learner. That kind of thing. These kind of do affect you in the long term, and there's not really a way to change these very easily. So we're going to pick some that really matter. So we're going to start off with we're intelligent. Let's get our engineering and physics and society up. That's basically faster research. We are fast learners, because then we get experience faster. But now we need to pick a negative one just to give us the extra trait points. So I'm going to pick sedentary. And that makes it so we don't migrate easy. We don't migrate easily. We don't resettle things easily. The thing is, I don't really rely on those two anyway. So yeah. Right. Our ruler is female, and she is pawns there. Be honest. Those of you who play Warhammer, you know what that is. Those of you who don't, she's kind of new. She's actually something unique in the verse I got her from. There is actually a fancier title for her, but I'm not going to use it here because it's a bit meh. Well, I say it's a bit meh. It's not really relevant for this. So we can choose what type of home we live on, and they give you certain benefits. If you look here and follow over here, it gives you habitability of what the planet's like. This doesn't dictate anything to do with what the planet is like itself. It just gives you like what type of world it is. It doesn't help you with size, doesn't help with places you can habitat, that kind of thing. You could be a continental world liver and find tiny continental worlds. You could live on ocean worlds and find worlds that have mass amounts of islands. You could live on a tropical world and be fine. They all have their own positives and negatives. Well, I say that, but they all have their own uniqueness to unique thing to them. I personally do like the continental world, mostly because this is meant to be a humanoid race. We live on what's the name of the world? The name of the world is Rapunzel. There is a reason, don't worry. Star name is Melons. And our system is random. Our appearance, we are a mammalian. So this is where you pick what your ethics are. Ethics and government. So your ethics kind of dictate how your race is. These are kind of what you can do. So you can be like militaristic, xenophobic, individualist, materialistic, pacifist, xenophile, collectivist, or spiritualistic. Bear in mind that you can't take opposites, so I can't be militarist and pacifistic. You also have you can pick for up to 3 ethics, but if you go extreme, it costs you 2. So if you want to be a fanatic, ability to expect force of paramount importance is it costs you 2 to be a fanatic, but 1 to be normal. I kind of want to be militarist, individualist, and materialist. Now, if I wanted to, I could get rid of materialist for fanatic individualist, or I could get rid of that entirely and go for fanatic materialist. Although it hurts to just grow up and put aside the outdated notions of morality. And they're really awesome. Or we could scrap that and go for fanatic militarist. They do give you better buffs, some negatives, especially considering this. It's very tempting, to be honest, to go fanatic military, but I think I want to go with this for now, because I'm happy at these. And depending on what you choose here, you can choose what type of government you have. So, if I go for spiritualist, we can get the divine mandate, we can get the theocratic. If I go here, we get access to the dictatorship. You have to pick what type of thing you want before you can choose your government. So, these 3. As you can see, we can be a democracy. Well, these left sides almost always democracy of some kind. Middle is some kind of oligarchy, I guess, where the it's kind of a half electorate, but it's sort of not, because it takes like 40-50 years to elect. Like, we got a military one to everyone's. Or in this one, you need are the kind of dictatorship sides, where it's one ruler for the rest of their life. I am gonna go for the military republic, because then we've got the upkeep. The upkeep's down, war happiness is up. We could go here and have ship costs down, upgrade costs down, but that's... yeah, I'd rather not have an oligarchy right now. But we are going militarist. Our empire name is the... we are the Confederacy of Saint Hans. So the original the original lore for this empire more or less comes from one of Red's creations. If you don't know Red Shock Trooper, I actually do quite a bit of him. Well, I've done a few things with him. Like, he took part in some of the laid-back Sundays, the game rooms, back in the day. He has a world where I've kind of made a nation called the Rapunzel, which used to be the Confederacy of Saint Rapans. What it is a meritocracy. And Saint Rapans is the, well, leader, air quotes, who liberated the nation back when it needed to be saved, along with its neighbour. She is a demigod. That's what, and she's called Saint Rapans because without her, there wouldn't be a Rapunzel. They're named after her, despite not wanting to have it named after her. But then that's how things go. It is more or less a technological place. That's why I've taken intelligent and militarist. So yeah, our flag. If we can do it, there we go. You get a good choice of flags. There's a good range of them. I will admit, I wish there was more like a create your own kind of thing here, but what you gotta do? But because we are the Rapunzians, I don't see a Cross of Lorraine. I've never found one, and I wish I could, because I would love to have the Cross of Lorraine. And it's actually really good, nice. That's zoological, really? Alright, I'll take this one. And you can choose your flag's background. So, if we want to, we can go with this one and then change it to blue and blue. Which actually looked quite good, actually. So yeah, there was one I was looking for. I can't remember what the bloody thing was. I think it's ornate. There it is. We are the Order! Haha! Don't want that one. The thing is, this doesn't really affect much apart from how your race appears. You know, how your flag appears, sorry. You're going to be seeing your flag a lot, so choose one that you like, but it's up to you, really. But we are going to go for the Astronomicon. Yes, I do recognise it. Warhammer 40k. Represent, bitch! You can choose what weapons you start with, so we can have projectile weapons, which are more mass drivers, they're short range but high rate of fire. Energy weapons, which chew through shields but means close range. Chew through armor but not good against shields. Or missile weapons, which are long range but are vulnerable to interception. I like going with the projectile weapons. Okay, energy weapons. It's no change. Look over lasers. Also, how you travel about. Warp travel, hyperspace travel, or wormhole travel. Warp travel is more or less you can choose where you go. Hyperspace travel, you have to follow certain lanes. And I've never done wormhole travel, I don't really want to, but I think it's to do with building wormhole generators. Thing is, this one's faster than this, and this is faster than this. Making it that faster than that. So, it's up to you how you do it. I prefer warp travel just because you can go about as you wish. I don't know, it's up to you. Now, ship appearance, well, I am a fan of the Mammalian. They look good enough, really. I wish you could design your own, instead of having to go through this. So yeah, that's how our race looks. I wish they'd give you a lore, or you can make your own lore. But we're going to save this, we have the Confederacy, and let's get into it, shall we? I'm going to warn you now, the early days are kind of long. It takes a while to get the game going, but we're going to go with 23 AI empires with no advanced AI starts, difficulty normal. FTL method, everything's allowed. We're a medium with 600 stars rather. We're elliptical. I wish there was so you changed the amount of habitable planets, but that's something for another time. 9-man mode is off. Let's do this. I do friggin' love these backgrounds. So, this is probably going to be part 0 where there's a lot of explanation involved. I wish I brought a drink. Oh, there we go, there's our load. Let's load in. So, in the eons since the first primitive human communities took shape on the grassy savannas of Rapunzel, our civilization has spread and prospered. Many wars were fought between our early nation-states, and those who could not defend themselves disappeared or were absorbed by stronger neighbours. These endless wars fostered a strong martial tradition, and to this day, full citizenship is reserved for those who have proved willing to sacrifice themselves in defence of the state. Now, after the successful creation of several experimental subspace fields, the finest minds of the Confederacy of St. Rapons have finished development of the first warp drive. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. Begin!
Welcome, Consuls. I am Veer, a prototype synthetic intelligence developed under utmost secrecy by the military. High Command has activated me to serve as your advisor and strategic analyst.
So, at the start, Ver comes up and says, do you want tips? You can get tutorial missions, you can get just tips on how to go, where you go on your own, or you get no tutorial at all. I'm going to go with tips.
Very well. I will provide tips, explaining only basic functions and tools as you explore them.
Good to know. So, there is a lot to explain in this part 1, but this is our first galaxy. This is our first system. It's kind of small when you think about it. I mean, this is how much there is out there. But anyway, that's a matter for another time. So, we're going to start off in our own system. So, we have... I guess we're going to explain the overlay first. We have these up here, which are Government, Empire, Contact, Ship Designer, Situation Log, and Technology tabs. These will become relevant later on. Technology probably the most important because you'll keep going back and forth there. Situation Log is basically sort of missions and special projects that come up. And yes, there are missions in this game. Ship Designer is more or less where you can build ships. When I say build ships, you design ships as your technology advances and you get the capability to build bigger and better ships. And also upgrade your original designs. Contacts is your diplomacy. Empire is an overview of your empire from its planets, its leaders, and its factions in there. We're going to explain more about the others later on. And government is basically your government. You know, what you've got going, your rules, your regulations, what you're doing for. Over here, you have your resources, I guess. You have your ancient credits, which is basically money. Minerals, which basically used to build stuff. And influence, which is influence, I guess. As you can see, there is a store. There is a limit to how much you can have total. Energy you will be using more of, as you'll be using more for upkeep than anything else. Minerals you'll be using more for building, and influence you'll be using more for more expansive ideas. That makes any sense. Over here we've got your research points, which we'll explain later on, but this is how much I'm making a month. The strategic resources, we have none available right now, because we don't know what these things are. We have how many planets we could directly control, that will get explained later on. And here we have our naval capacity. We can support... ships have a limit... warships have a limit to... have a cost to support them. It goes up as the ship gets bigger. So corvettes, which we've got now, are the cheapest at 1 each. We've got 3 here. Goes to destroyer, then cruiser, and then battleship. I seem to think there's one more. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Yeah, those are the 4 you need to know, though, for now. But if you go over the limit, you get a penalty. I believe it's increased maintenance cost. You want to keep an effective fleet going anyway. It's probably more effective to upgrade than it is to build new ships, which is what they're trying to get you to do. You increase this by getting bigger spaceports, by increasing population on planets, which kind of happens over time anyway. Moving on, we have the outliner. The happy outliner. Down here, we have our planet. Whoa, we're in orbit. Why are we a planet in orbit of another planet? What? This is our home world.
Home world and the capital of our empire. The planet provides an overview of the planet's important statistics.
Blah blah blah. So this is basically an overview of what the planet is. We got a bonus here because capital world of ethics divergence, which we'll explain later on, more happiness and more borders, more border extrusion, which is basically how big our borders are. The world is 100% habitable. Well, I hope so. It's where we live. It's where we belong. It's a continental world, and you can see what the planet makes right now. We also have over here the pops on the planet. As you can see, we have 7 of a total of 10 we can have. We have 4 spare food, and we have 16 spaces here for population. You'll see that later on. Oh, that's possible. Is it? Really? Okay, yeah. Down here we have our governor, who's Silas Cameron, who is a level 1 planetary governor. Gives us happiness +2, construction time down, clear block of time down, clear block of cost down. What the resource we have coming out of it now are here, and we have no active edicts. Edicts are planet-specific things that you can call in. So land of opportunity makes migrate attraction higher. Infrastructure projects makes building cost and construction time down. Re-education campaign lowers ethics divergence. But we'll explain that. We'll get explained when we look at the surface.
Here we see a visual representation of this planet's surface, divided into tiles. This tab is only visible on colonies and surveyed worlds that are habitable. Each pop occupies a single tile, which means that there can never be more pops on a planet than there are free tiles.
So what he's basically saying is that's this. We've got 4x4. We can have 16 in this planet. But until you clear these, which are blockers, you cannot settle them. So as you can see, we've got loads of resources. It's actually quite a good deal. Okay, something to bear in mind also is that tiles have they can have a resource on them, or they can be nothing on them. So as you can see here, we have 4 minerals here. We have 4 food and 4 minerals here, which looks like we're not collecting all of them. Oh well. I know. Okay, so we're collecting all these here. Like we're getting energy here, we're getting energy here, we're getting food and minerals here. Temperate terrain, that's nice. And as you go through, you have to pick like, okay, what do I want to build here? Like here, we can upgrade it. We can build stuff here to make more use of this tile. Now, right now we're getting 1 food from it, so we could build the hydroponics farm, but we'd lose the minerals, which we're getting 2. If we build the mining network, we lose the food. The thing is, we can make up for the food loss because we can build a hydroponics farm here. So we're going to do that. Build, yep, and here build this. We do pay minerals per thing we expand in. It's not a massive cost, but it's big enough. Here we are going to build the basic science lab, because then we can make use of that society research. This does cost us, so we've spent 120 already, which is 180, sorry, which is expensive, but it's worth it. These 2 will get people in them straight away when they're fully upgraded. Then we'll start seeing the minerals and food come out of them. It takes time to build them, 200 days. This is a real-time game, by the way. Down here, we will get someone in, and then it will start working as soon as someone goes in. Oh, actually, really should stop there. We also have armies. This is where we start sorting out our army. Now, we don't really have one. We have the 1 unit of defensive in garrison. We have 4 potential as defensive. Like we can't move defensive armies around, but we can't move the garrison because they only appear when the planet comes under attack. You can actually recruit an offensive army, an assault army, which takes longer, but they're what you need to take over planets. It's also expensive to do. You can also choose your rules for orbital bombardment. Now, orbital bombardment is risky, and the more you do, the more damage you cause, but the more likely you are to do damage to the pop. It's interesting, and at times going full will let you take places quicker, but you'll annoy parts of the population and indeed other empires.
The spaceport tab is where we view orbiting fleets, build new ships, and upgrade the station itself. If a planet has no spaceport, we can order the construction of one if we have the necessary resources.
Generally speaking, you need 350 resources to set up a space station. But these are... you have no idea how useful these are. So, these are the fleets in orbit. And you can also build new ones. As you can see, there's a cost and there's time. Now, we can't upgrade yet because we haven't got the technology. They will also give us automatic designs based on what they think is the best. So, as you can see with the Onward class, the Retribution class, and the Longbow class. In a way, it makes sense. It's interesting, and I do like the idea, but you can become cluttered with a lot of classes if you're not careful. You do want to keep a range of things going. Meanwhile, let's move on to our science ship.
This is our science ship, which is used to survey.
So, science ships are used to survey systems and go explore the galaxy. Now, right now, we have a system that we just haven't explored. Well, we need to go survey it. If you look here, there's survey. What you can do is click that, then click on the planet, and it'll go survey that planet. Or you can order it to let me try that again. Or you can order it to survey the system. And it just goes random all. It's going to have 11 orders queued up to go survey the entire thing. It's going to try and do it the most effective way, efficient way it can, which starts at Finn Castle, then moves on through the system. So we're going to let that go. Before we do that, actually, we're going to do some research. So this is where we dictate our research. Now, I will point out now that these guys are apparently in a bad order because you're not meant to be down there and you're not meant to be up there. Whatever the case, when we do research, we choose one person if we don't do anything, select research, and we get a series of options. Right now, we only have 3. So I'm going to... You pick one of them. As you can see, in 240 points, that takes us roughly 48 months. So we want this. I'll go for you, so we can start colonising quicker. And we will take the ion thruster. But we're going to grab you. And we'll grab you. So then those two flip around. You actually do want a researcher of that field researching their specialised field. So you want, in this case, we want Takumi researching the engineering side because he's specialised in industry. But he'll give a bonus to research anyway of like things like 5%. If it's their chosen field, you get a 10% bonus. Straight out. So it's worth keeping an eye on so you actually know what you're doing. There is a lot to go over. But that you will at times get things that you... Yeah, they've got any features? Yes, we do. So as you can see, we've got some tech we start off with. It's very nice. Slavery allowed, really? Huh. Vassal states and protectorate. Form alliance. Wow, you actually get some really good stuff to start with. Wow. That's nice. But yeah, now we've got that going, let's unpause the game and let it run for a bit. Go fast, because we just need one scan to find something. I love this. Just... You find anything there? Nope. So it will just go around surveying the system until it finds something. In fact, it'll keep going after it finds something, but you will get a report at times saying, "Hey, we found something." Surprise! Oh, it's an asteroid. Okay. Still hasn't found anything. That's annoying. There's gotta be something here. Really? Okay. And this does tick day by day, month by month, year by year, as same with other Paradox games. We will eventually find something. Flawless, really? Really? Smithers! Sorry, just when you realise, hey, it's Smithers. Or it'll save every 6 months, by the way. You can change that. We built the first thing on Ponds, yeah? I might get a second science ship. What's the galaxy like? Yeah, second science ship wouldn't go amiss. Yeah, build the second one. Really, still haven't found anything? That's literally how quick you can order construction, by the way. That's why I love that. It's just so simple. St. Natchball, really? Look, can we please just find some resource on these planets or something?
Construction complete.
There we go, finished construction. That's nice for still. Really? Wow, we still have a crummy system. Holy Christ. So I'll let the science ship go before I sort out the other two things. You gain a level, nice. That means you actually do research faster. But considering you're doing surveying instead of research, yeah. I can't remember to save my life if it actually affects this. I think it does. I love the music in this game. It's just really it fits so well. Okay, have we got it here then? Okay, there's a lot. If we haven't got any resources here, I'm going to be worried quite a bit, because we're going to be relying on one planet to build everything.
We have found an anomaly.
Ah, anomaly. Okay.
Time, our science ships will discover strange things while surveying worlds. These can be researched by scientists, but be certain their skills are up to the task.
So they can fail, in which case you lose either the scientist, the science ship, or both. In this case, there's no chance of failure, so I'll do research. And there's only the anomaly there. That's kind of disappointing. But then we've got the other science ship here. We need to assign a leader before we can do surveying. We need to recruit a scientist. There is a limit of 10. What have we got a choice of? Research speed and voidcraft, computing, or anomaly research speed. You've got to pick one of these before it moves on. There is an age to them, so they do die, like other Paradox games. It also takes influence, which you can see here. So let's grab Ryan. Ryan here, we're going to send over to Joe. He'll research that. And we'll get on with that. So this system is actually surveyed now. And we haven't found anything interesting here, which actually does disappoint me. Let me down, game. That's not wide. So research, we're getting there. Getting some good stuff done. So I'm actually going to explain the other tabs now. We have the government tab, which
presents us with information regarding our empire and its government. Here we can see our ruler and any related effects.
So we can see that our ruler has Explorer, which makes science ships cost less and anomaly research speed faster, and fertility for each other, so we have 10% more food. We also have our governing ethics, which are individualism, militarism, and materialism. Our next selection is 2205. And we actually have... We can change government form? Huh. That is actually quite neat. As you can see, we get the Empire effects here. We have no modifiers in place. We can see our budget, which is quite literally our budget of things. You can also see our economic effects. We're not making too much energy as opposed to how much we're losing, but then we are actually moving ships about. Ships don't cost as much if they're in orbit of a planet with a spaceport. And you can see our economic effects down here. Policies, you can choose how you want to do things, so I want to change this to full. People are going to be annoyed if we do that. It doesn't cost you any influence, but you can't change it again for 10 years. That helps our wars go faster. Migration, we can actually prohibit it, but we want free migration going. We can have purging populists, which means we can just kill them, but we can't do it. We don't allow slavery. We can't allow slavery. War economy, you can choose whether you want it to be semi-static, which makes military your military production efficiency better when you're losing a war than when you're winning a war, or dynamic, which makes it even more so. It's more to help you out in defensive wars. I keep it static in most cases. Voting rights, well, I want the free vote. You can choose to be the primary species, in which case it's us, the Rapunzians. Leadership, we can't change yet. And first contact protocol, we can choose whether we want to be peaceful and attack them. Peaceful or attack them, rather. And down here you get edicts, which are more to do with your people, in a way. These are more government empire-wide. So we can have information quarantine, which slows down our research, lowers our ethics divergence. We can encourage free thought, which increases ethics divergence, but speeds up research, and these are bonuses to your research. Demographics of your empire, so you can see we have 8 pops on one world. We can create a vassal if we had something spare. Actually, I should really go over that quickly. Here we have on Banzia. We have our pops. We've got this one here, As you can see, we have like what they are. They have their own like their own trait stats, their own personality, I guess, own virtue. Sorry, they have happiness, and they have an ethics divergence. Ethics divergence is their chance of developing a trait that is against that is not what is one of our governing ethics. So in this case, he's actually not picked up the collectivist trait. Sorry, is it materialist or is it collectivist? Materialist trait. So you kind of want to look around because you will see that some pops have it. Hang on. Okay, none of the pops have it. That's weird. Okay. At times you want to keep your ethics divergence as low as possible, and as possible into the negatives if you can. If you can't, then well, good show. Also, we have our construction ship here. Now, we would normally have to build things around planets. If there's a resource there's no resources, so we can't build anything, annoyingly. But you can build things to expand your empire, like a frontier station. Where is it? Frontier outpost, which expands your borders around the star. We have mining stations, research stations, and observation stations, which help your research and such. Military station, which is basically a defensive position. And terraforming station, which can terraform a planet, but we need research for that. So that is everything. That's how we're going to start this campaign off. This is part 0. We haven't done everything. There is a ton in this game that hasn't been covered, but we'll see as we go along. So, I'm going to call this part 0 here. Next time on Let's Play Stellaris as the opponent Confederacy. We're going to start the campaign off and see as we expand into the stars what the galaxy has to offer. I've been the Blair Chaos, you joining me next time as we captain the ship once more in Stellaris. Thank you for watching, folks, and I'll see you next time.